Hey everybody, how's it going today? I hope everybody is having a wonderful, blessed day today. Today I want to talk about, should an adult child live with their parents? Should an adult child live with their parents? I'm going to take my time here and allow the Lord to give me the word to say as I go forth with this video and, make some good key points and, hopefully this video will be a blessing to you. Now, I don't see a problem with an adult child live with their parents as long as the adult child is helping out with the parents and they are learning from their parents on how to maintain a house when they become on their own, okay? So that's the part what I was talking about in my independent video. Independent is a good thing video. See, when you're learning from your parents how to function when they're long gone, that's a wonderful thing, okay? Versus, an adult child that is constant as take, never give, never give, never give, never give, okay? But then again, there are some out there that learns all they can, and when that day does come, they won't be caught by surprise, okay? Because to be honest, parents are the first teachers in life, and they are their child's roadmap in life, okay? So I come from. Now, most people, oftentimes when you get on the subject, they just want to throw stones out, right? They just want to cast stones. They don't want to ride for the divide and talk about the subject, right? They just want to throw stones and cast stones, make judgment calls. But me, I just rightfully study and rightfully dividing here and rightfully going at it in the right angle, right? See, one thing too is, like I say, you could be learning from your parents how to live on your own, right? So I'm saying, because they can teach you how to, call in a rent, mail, email it, whatever you need to do. You see where I come from? See, but, they are supposed to be helping you teach. Hold on, got tons of, sorry about that. They are supposed to be teaching you how to be independent, not dependent on them so much, okay, that you cannot function on your own, right? So I come from. Versus some people, right? They can just baby their kids so much. I mean, they just let their adult children live with them, and they don't know how to live on their own or don't know how to do anything. Like if something was to go down, I mean, they'll be caught off guard real quick. See, there's some good situations to look at because not every situation is the same, okay? You can have some adult children that are disabled. You can have them, right? But then you have some that's helping their parents out, because sometimes you can have somebody that's lived with their elderly parents to help them out, right? Because they fell on hard time and they got sickness and stuff, and you're helping them out in so many ways. So you just can't just cast a stone, just make a judgment call. You know what I'm saying? You need to think before you flick them stones, okay? That's where I come from. Some more key points I want to make. Now, I want you to keep in mind, when you do live with your parents, okay, you just got to keep in mind. Their rules are their rules, okay? So, their rules are their rules. You still have to abide by them. Because you're over 18, you still got to abide to them, okay? By those rules, right? And don't complain about, those rules have to be abided by when you're still living with them, okay? It's where I come from, right? You see how I get that, right? All right, now let me make this other point here. Okay, like when it comes to, like, some people talk about, should they live on their parents' land, as same land as they do? I want to say this, right here too. This makes a good vital points. It depends on how well y'all get along together, okay? It's where I come from. It depends on how well y'all get along together, because it could be vice versa in so many ways. So, see, like, your parent could be over there telling you, this 150 feet away from their house or 250 feet plus, telling you what to do and stuff. You had to bear that in mind, okay? See, when you think about, when you grow up, you live on your own, that basically means you leave the nest, the whole land and everything, right? So I come from. But when you're living on your parents' land, I mean, you still got, respect their wishes, you know what I'm saying? You still got to respect their rules, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you live in, in a rental apartment or somewhere such and such. You still got to abide by those rules, right? So, I mean, does that make any sense to you? But then again, there are some people that can live on their parents' land, same land as their parents do, and they get along great. But then again, some people can live on their parents' land, and it's a nightmare. It's where I come from, but then they grumble, complain about it because they knew how controlling their parents was the day they moved out. So now they won't put a house on the land, and they complain about the parents still trying to control them. It's still I get that, right? It's still what happens when you're so quick to listen and slow to speak, and so quick to listen and slow to throw your opinion out there. So what happens? I mean, just get right to discernment, right? You see things, you discern things, how things should be, right? It's where I come from because oftentimes in every situation varies, okay? This depends on your situation and your circumstances, okay? So I mean, since I helped my parents out and I helped my grandpa out. When he was sick, when his health got bad, and just basically helped him out till the Lord called him home. Because didn't want to see him going to a nursing home. So where I come from. See, when you're helping your parents out, that's a wonderful thing. But then again, there are some, adult children that'll take advantage of their parents. You know what I'm saying? They'll take advantage of a good-hearted parent real easily. So where I come from, because that does happen all the time. It does, and I've seen that happen too. The adult child taking advantage of a good-hearted parent that basically wanted to help them out in so many ways, and then they wound up becoming their doormat instead of being appreciated for the gratitude that he got. So I'm saying. But then again, you just have it vice versa. But like I say, when I hear people talk about this type of subjects oftentimes through the grapevine, I think to myself, you have to be, not so quick to flick stones, you know what I'm saying? You have to be so quick to not flick those stones, right? Flicking them stones of judgment, right? Because like I say, every situation is different. You can't judge all the same. Like I said, as long as the, adult child is helping their parents out, I don't see an issue with it. But the thing of it is, when they are just living off their parents, or not trying to do anything, not trying to learn something, not trying to be independent, now that's when we get trouble, my friend. That's where we get trouble. Because there's some people out there that could be so dependent on their parent, something was to happen, they'll be lost. Because, let me say this today in this video, I hope it makes sense. Parents are not always going to be here forever. You got to realize that. You have to. They're not always going to be here forever. You need to realize that. Because it's good while they're here to learn all you can, right? It's good to learn all you can while they are here, right? See, that way, when they're gone, you won't slip under, right? You'll be standing on your own 2 feet. So, you'll be standing on your own 2 feet. If you don't, if you stay learning how to manage your bills, buy your needs instead of your wants all the time, and not be so quick to blow money on every little thing you see, you can live yourself a good, decent life, right? See, aside this, when you're broke or you're an average person, right, you try to live like the Joneses, yeah, you're going to be broke as heck trying to run with the big dogs. So So I'm saying, you're gonna be broke, busted, and disgusted behind that, right? See, that's a good thing about having wise parents that teach you those type of things, okay? Because not everybody's blessed to have that. And there's some parents out there just throw their adult child out and say, here you go. I mean, what's going to throw you to the wolves and let you learn how to fend for yourself out there in the real world. But the sad thing is, the parents that, will, keep their home open for the adult child, oftentimes they are the ones that get took advantage of the most. You see what I'm saying, right? That's where I come from, right? The ones that's actually trying to teach the child the right way. So I come from versus, I don't need you no more. Get out of here. You're 18 now. So I was like, but like I say, as long as you're helping one another, that's a good thing, okay? Because that's the perfect time to learn how to live on your own. Because if you don't take pointers right now, how you going to learn anything on your own, right? So I'm saying, how you going to learn on your own if you don't have somebody teaching you and guiding and directing you in the ways that you should go and how to live on your own, right? So I mean, so where I come from, right? So that's the thing. It's better for people to be prepared in life than to not be prepared at all. So I'm saying, because like I say, it just, see, like I said, when it comes to your situation, I don't know your situation, but the thing of it is though, when people don't sit and think about this type of subject, just throw it out there, making these judgment calls, throwing these stones, right? They're not really getting anywhere, okay? Because you don't know the situation, because they could be helping their parents out because they are elderly, or they has a bad sickness or illness or something happened along the line of their years, and they need you to help them out. You know what I'm saying? You just been a good, child that they want to help out. You know what I'm saying? Because, most of those parents would be grateful for that. But then again, most of those parents could take advantage of the child too. You got to keep that in mind too. It goes both ways. It's not just a one-sided street here, okay? See, because like I say, it's good for adult children to help out their parents, but they're not obligated to. You see where I come from? But when they help them out when they get older, that's a great thing. When they helping their child out, not child, I don't know why I say child, when they helping their parent out, because, when you think about it, when parents, were younger, and you were younger, we all were younger, I mean, they worked years of blood, sweat, and tears, okay? Let's face it, our parents didn't have this social media right here to give us pointers, to give us insight. They didn't have Google to say, hey, how do I do this? You know what I'm saying? They didn't have this YouTube right here where they can sit and listen to a man telling them how to live their life. They didn't have that, how to do this, how to do that, how to fix a tire on your car. They didn't have all this. They had to learn it the hard way. So, I mean, and that's the reason why it's not the rough fatter, so let's be honest. Since I thought about it, I was saying, it's not they appreciate life more than my generation, okay? Not saying everybody's that way. I'll be a fool to say that. I'll just be honest with you. Since it just flows to my mind, and that's how I say it. Because back then, like I said, they didn't have Google. I mean, they didn't have social media to turn to. They didn't have all this other bells and whistles we have today. So I'm saying, see, there weren't many a nights, blood, sweat, and tears, sleepless nights. I mean, it wouldn't hurt, adult children to return the favor, you know what I'm saying? Because, well, is that not what people say? You get married with kids, and so you can have somebody help you out when you get older? Is that not what they say? So I come from, right? But you do it out of gratitude, okay? You don't do it because you're obligated. You do it because you want to. Because you want to be a blessing. So I come from, right? So that's the thing. See, when you help them out, that's a wonderful thing, because the Lord will reward you for that, okay? Because like I say, I mean, there's plenty of people out there that do that. They help their parents out in so many ways, okay? That's like I say, you know, when you have people that help one another out, that's a great thing and a blessing, okay? I mean, it shouldn't be just one person having to do everything, okay? See where I come from? See, that's why I say when you sit and listen to older folks, your parents, aunts, uncles, anybody in general, see, when you take heed to what they say, I mean, you can really learn a whole lot, right? Said like me as a vision impaired man, right? If I was able to drive and had a good pair of eyes and be able to drive myself places, some people will say to me, dang, man, you sound more wise for your age, man. You sound more older than your age. They'll say that's because you have a whole lot of wise words of wisdom. You sound more mature than your own age, right? And I'll say, well, that's what I get. That's what you get when you hang around people that's older than you are. I mean, you can learn a whole lot, right? You can learn a whole lot, get a lot of words of wisdom, right? So where I come from, right? But like I say, you can learn a lot when you take time to listen. So I mean, you can really learn a lot when you stop and listen, right? As like I say, it's a good thing to know how to do things on your own, okay? See, the problem is, oftentimes most people, they get so dependent on their parents when they're living with them to the point they don't know how to function without them. And then when those parents are gone, then you're up the creek, okay? So I come from. But then again, there are some people, some situations, they don't get along with their parents. I mean, that's a different situation, right? That's different, different topic, right? You know what I'm saying? Because, not everybody, gets along with their parents, okay? Because, here on social media, here on YouTube, I mean, people, watch this video, they may be going through a different situation. Some may be going through the same similar situation or maybe different. But the thing of it is, I mean, not one shoe fits all, right? It's all saying right, but like I say, it's got to rightfully think about stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? That's like I say, that's what I said earlier, like when some people say, should I build a house on my parents' land and live on my parents' land? I say, it just depends on how well y'all get along together, okay? Because they're controlling parents and you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing in life and you're not, partying or drugging it up or anything in general. I mean, you're trying to live a good life. I mean, if you have controlling parents, that could make a nightmare for you, okay? So, I mean, though you're not doing anything, right? You see where I come from, right? But like I say, that's just something you just got to think about. That's something that you have to figure out on your own, right? As a decision you just have to make for yourself, okay? But then again, some people, like I say, as I close here, they'll go pitch up a house on their parents' land knowing their parents are control freaks or narcissists or different things, whatever the situation may be. And then they'll grumble, complain about the narcissistic parents right next door, walking next door, telling you what you should do and telling you who should be in your house or shouldn't be in your house. You made that decision, live there, man. You lived that decision, live there, lady, so you got to live with it. You knew how they were when you moved up and got yourself a house before you even put a house on that land. It's still where I come from, right? Does that make any sense? But then again, you got some parents out there that, they get along with their adult children real well and, they just have a good time together, have themselves a ball. They get themselves a bonfire, get a few cold ones rolling. I mean, just have a good time. Just have a good fellowship, right? So I'm saying they have themselves a good fellowship, have a ball, right? Building those wonderful memories. So I'm saying, I mean, it's whatever your situation is, okay? So I mean, it's whatever your situation is. As long as you're helping one another out, and it's not saying you're always going to get along together. It's just saying that you learn how to work out these disagreements or different things y'all don't see eye to eye on, okay? Because let me say this: anytime you share a house with people, you're not always going to see everything eye to eye, okay? So I mean, you're not always going to agree on everything. So I'm saying, so I get that right. You're not always going to agree on every little thing there is, okay? You gotta bear that in mind. And when you get married, you're not always going to agree on every little thing. Let me say this other point too that I see the most. Before I do in this video, I just gotta say this. The most common complaint I have heard over the years, that's for real right here. You know, a married spouse, right? You know, they get married, they go put their house on their parents' land, and the spouse will get mad at the in-law for coming over all the time, you know, telling them what to do, or always coming over, that's always walking over the next yard, that's not giving them any privacy. The spouse will complain about that to their spouse. I mean, I have seen that before. I mean, that oftentimes does happen, but then again, I mean, it's very rare, okay? So I come from, that's just things you got to think about. You see, I mean, these are things you have to consider. So I'm saying, these are things you have to consider, okay? So I come from, right? That's like I say, you know, if your spouse has some kind of issue with your parent, that could really make it kind of challenging right there for you, okay? So I mean, so I come from, right? So again, but like I say, because that's the thing, because your spouse oftentimes will get, you know, upset with your mom or your dad always coming across the yard, always coming into the house. I mean, it's like, Dad, like they say, Dad, like this is your property. Well, it is your property. You got your house with their land, so technically, yeah, like a landlord can do the same thing to you. And that's been for real. But I mean, I was bringing out some of the stuff that you need to consider. Okay, so I come from right, but then again, you have some families that are married. They get along fine. And so I mean, they get along great. You know what I'm saying? They don't always see eye to eye on everything, but they have each other's back. They may not see eye to eye on everything, but they'll give you their shirt off their back. They may not always see eye to eye all the time. I mean, they'll help each other in a time of need, okay? I mean, that means that nobody's left standing alone, right? That's where I come from. But like I say, you know, when you have, you know, family like that, that's a great thing, because not everybody's blessed to have that. So I come from, not everybody's blessed to have that. But then again, you have some people out there that have that family that help one another out. That's a good thing. So I come from, because they help one another out. They help each other, you know, bear each other's burdens and different things. And they're just, you know, basically helping one another out. And oftentimes, too, as I end this video, I hope it makes sense to you. But it's a great topic to bring up, you know, especially within the body of Christ. Especially within the church, it should be brought up. You know, rightfully so. No stones casted. Just making points. Oftentimes, those type of families like that are took advantage of. Oftentimes, families like that are taken for granted. See what I'm saying? They are oftentimes the very ones that get took for granted in life, okay? See what I'm saying? They oftentimes are the ones that are underappreciated. See what I'm saying? Versus the ones that actually do appreciate everything you do, right? So I come from, right? But like I say, you know, when you think about a good family, you know what I'm saying? You know, like staying with your parents, you know, as long as you are learning from your parents how to go about life, that's a wonderful thing. Not this whole stereotypical. Maybe I should have said this earlier. If you're sticking around, God bless you. But not this whole stereotypical, man, I'm just going to stay at home and just smoke weed and play video games all day long, and I could contribute to society. My parents picking up the load for me. Not that society, not that stereotypical type of person, okay? That's what I hear when I hear people talk about the subject. What I just said right there. That's not always true, okay? It's not saying nothing bad about video games or anything. It's not. I mean, I ain't gonna flick stones at them. Just depending on what kind of games you play, and if the Holy Spirit gives you a conviction of it, and you don't feel right about playing those games, well, don't do it, okay? I'm not the enforcer. That's making a point. But that is oftentimes what people will construe that too when they think about an adult child staying with the parents, okay? They'll just think about that the example that I just made. So I'm saying? But that's not always the case. You can't throw stones at everybody, okay? You can't. I had to get a sweeter coffee. That sure was good. But like I say, you can't be quick to throw stones at a situation you know nothing about, okay? Just because you see an adult child live with their parents, don't mean they're getting a free ride, okay? They are just helping their parents out, whatever they need help with, and the parents help them out. They work together as a team, you see what I mean? Just like marriage is a team, right? Teamwork. Just like with family working like a team, right? It takes a team to make the team go forward, right? See, when they're learning, that's a wonderful thing. See what I'm saying? See, if they're helping them out, that's a great thing, okay? But there's a difference that they are just taking advantage of their parents, okay? Because there are some people out there to do that, okay? But then again, there's some parents out there that allow that type of situation too. And that's been real. But if they're helping those parents out, that's a great thing. And parents are, giving an adult child a pointer saying, hey, look, here's what to expect when you're living on your own, right? So I was saying, here's what to expect. That's where I come from. Because it's good to learn things in life because you're never too old to learn. Only a fool will say that they can't learn something new. So I'm saying, only a prideful fool will say that he can't learn nothing new, right? So when you learn something new, that's a great thing. That's like I say, if you're living with your parents, take all the advice that you can because, like I say, our parents are not always going to be around forever. So I mean, that's where I come from, right? But like I say, when you take heed and learn those lessons and learn how to budget your spending and everything, you'll be just fine. So I was saying, you know how to spend what you need to get. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't go crazy over these shopping sprees to see you gotta have everything you look at, you buy it. Yeah, you're gonna get yourself under the water, okay? So I come from. I mean, just be eye candy, okay? Just be eye dreamers, okay? You look at stuff, be like, yeah, that's just a dream. Maybe one day I'll save up enough money to get it, okay? You're just saving for a rainy day, okay? You just get your wants more than you get your needs, okay? That's what I'm saying. You be content with what you got. You appreciate what you have because one thing about somebody as I am for real, that's always wanting more. They never satisfied. They never satisfied. They don't see the simple blessings that they have already. They don't see how blessed their life is already. They play a comparison game and be like, man, I want to go buy this so I can be like this person. I want to buy this pair of clothes so I can be like this person. I want to do this. I want to do that so I can look like this person. Comparison game. So I mean, that's where I come from, right? But then again, you got some people that are satisfied with who they are. But they are living a good life. So I mean, they're living a good, blessed life because it's not saying that you won't ever get what you want in life. The point is, Your wants is your priority, okay? Your wants is your priority. So hold on, I said it wrong. I apologize. Your needs are your needs are a priority. Your needs are a priority in life. So I mean, yeah, I get tongue tied every so often, but I correct myself, roll with it. But anyway, but some people do honestly put their wants above their needs. Then they grumble, complaining why they can't get ahead in life. So I mean, see, when you're blessed with some parents that teach you these type of things, that's a wonderful thing. When you learn all you can, that's a blessing. Because like I say, not everybody's blessed to get those words of wisdom. Not everybody's blessed to get that words of comfort. Not everybody's blessed to get that word that they need to hear to help them step up to the next level. All right? So, I mean, not everybody's blessed to have that. See, when you learn while you can, that's a blessing. So, I mean, when you learn all you can from your first ever teachers, that's a blessing. That's why I said in my video, I think it was the other day and the other one too, I say being independent is a good thing and marriage is teamwork. As I said in those videos, parents, you are your child's roadmap in life. Don't forget that. You saw me? You are your child's roadmap in life. How life should go, how life should be, how a child grows up, leaves the nest, and how they could build a life for their own and stand on their own 2 feet. So I mean, so I'm saying, you are their roadmap. You are their very first teacher. So I mean, but yeah, most people don't talk about it like this. So I mean, but I'm thankful for the ones that do bring up this type of subjects. But they're very far and few in between, okay? Just like I said, you know, parents, you are your child's first teacher and you are their roadmap how to go about life. You see what I mean? Because they will always remember what you taught them above anybody else on this earth, okay? So I mean, so I'm saying, they will. They will always remember what you taught them over anything else on this earth, okay? See, when you teach the kids in the right way, they won't depart from it. But if they do depart from it when they get older, they have a choice for them not to want to come back to it, okay? Say one thing, too, on in with this note. Say this out sometimes, too, want to say this. Oftentimes, a mistake I have seen with, you know, some parents, right, with adult children. I just want to make this point as I end this video for real here. Yeah, I mean, you could have, you could be a Christian adult parent, right? You know, adult parents, right? Okay. See, when it comes to witnessing to your child about the Lord, and they're not willing and ready to become a child of God, you can't force them. It's not saying you can't witness to them, but the thing of it is, you can become overboard to the point that you push them away instead of pulling them forward to the Lord, okay? So I'm saying, yeah, keep that in mind. So it's a blessing when those children, you know, take heed to what you say and accept the Lord, but you can't be the Holy Spirit and be the convictor, okay? But most people, that's where they get themselves in trouble and disappointed at because of that they can make people live the way they want to. So I come from, right? So I'm saying, I mean, I oftentimes see this happen all the times, you know, with, you know, when adult children live with their parents or adult children living on their parents' land. You saw where I come from, right? I mean, all the time see that happen, right? But like I say, I mean, until that child is ready for to accept the Lord as their personal Savior and to be Lord of their life, you can't be their Holy Spirit convictor, okay? Only thing you can do is pray for them and give them to God. Let God handle them, okay? So I mean, because God knows whether or not they're going to accept the Lord or not, okay? So where I come from. But the thing of it is, you have to let your light shine as the parent. Your praise of worship and your lifestyle is your everyday reality, okay? How you treat others, how you do unto others, how you are to people. Do you gossip about people or do you pray for people? Do people see the love of the Lord living in you? See that way, like if something's happened and the parent passed away, that adult child look at that parent and say, I never heard my parents speak ill of anybody or gossip about nobody. They sure loved the Lord a lot. They talked to the Lord, they prayed to the Lord, and they, even though they were going through the hardships, the problems in life, I mean, it wasn't a day that I didn't see my mom in the kitchen, in the living room, raising her hands, praise the Lord, though she didn't feel good. Just keep on pushing on, working or whatever. Or dad out there doing what he needs to do, praising the Lord, and thanking the Lord for the things that he's able to do. I mean, that sticks with them, okay? So, that sticks with them. So, so as I had a dad working on stuff that he feels like his flesh can't take it anymore, he keeps pressing through because God gives him strength. That'll stay with that child forever. That'll be that light that shines more brighter than the line inside that church building, okay? That's where a lot of people get themselves in trouble. Thinking that, we just got to praise the Lord Sunday morning 2 hours and you're back to reality day or church. It's you fit. Let's go ahead and put it on the word, but it offends you. That's being honest. I'm just being for real with you. Now, as I said, parents, you are your child's very first teacher, and you are their very only roadmap in life, almost, pretty much, okay? And oftentimes, aunts and uncles, they play a role in the child's life too, and they're a blessing. So I come from, right? But like I say, when you are a leading example, that's a wonderful thing. When you're building a legacy, that's a wonderful thing. So I come from, right? So I hope and pray this video made sense and it's edifying and you got a blessing from this video. If y'all have any questions or feedback or anything, just feel free to leave that in the comment section. And I appreciate you guys for taking time out of your day to watch it. I hope and pray y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. And God bless.